Ever since the Oblivion remaster came out, Reddit has been riddled with posts about Elder Scrolls 6, when people think it will be, where the game will be located, what the story should be, wishlist for Elder Scrolls 6. And I figured I'd hop on that train, but instead of making a Reddit post, I decided to make a whole video instead because I have that kind of time on my hands. So basically this video is going to be about my wishlist for Elder Scrolls 6. I'll break it down into sections so you can skip to other sections if you want. But you'll quickly realize that this is just a video of me talking about things that I like about each game, because they're familiar and learning new things is scary. And by the way, you don't need to leave a comment about how my game looks. Believe me, I know. I'm right here. But we'll cover that in a bit. Story. This will probably be the shortest segment, because in terms of the story, I don't really know and I don't really care, as long as it's good. I guess it would be cool if whatever the story is, it shows whatever the conclusion is to Skyrim Civil War. That's assuming that it takes place after the events of Skyrim. I'm pretty sure the games take place one after another. And in terms of the faction storylines like the Dark Brotherhood, the Thieves Guild, etc, 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 it could be interesting if you could decline to be the leader of these factions and instead give that job to someone else.
Sorry, lad. I've got important things to do. We'll speak another time.
What? What? No, you don't. A lot of the times the protagonist has too much going on between closing Oblivion gates or fighting dragons or whatever that you can't be bothered to visit the Night Mother statue once a week. Let someone else have that job. And in terms of location, whatever. I guess the prime suspects are High Rock or Hammerfell based on the teaser trailer, which is fine I guess, but I mean all you can do is speculate and fill ourselves with hope for 6 years while we just let Bethesda toy with our hopes and dreams by re-releasing games that they already made. Sidebar, I think teaser trailers should be illegal. All they do is get you excited about something only to see that it won't happen for another decade. We might not be around for it, people. The bees are dying. But I guess it would be cool to go to a province we haven't been to yet. I know you could go to pretty much anywhere in Tamriel in Elder Scrolls Online. I also know that the validity of ESO being canon is questionable. But if you see my URL Puth video, you know how I feel about canon being real. Gameplay. Oblivion did a lot of things that I like, and Skyrim did a lot of things that I like too. For example, Oblivion makes playing a spell sword way easier, which is one of my preferred playstyles. In Oblivion you can basically have 3 things equipped: a weapon, a shield, and a spell. I don't use shields because I'm not a coward. Just kidding, I am. But you could just shoot the spell out of one of your hands and you don't have to unequip it if you need to block an attack. I mean, I guess you could use a ward, but I mean, come on. My only gripe is that when you use a spell in Oblivion, it looks lackluster. Like you're just like, bleh. Versus in Skyrim, it looks like you're really casting a spell. Like you're about to Kamehameha that birch. So if they could somehow come up with a way to combine the two, that would be swell. Archery is another thing that I like more in Oblivion, but that's purely based on sound effects. I don't know if they carried over the original sound effects from the original game, but knocking an arrow and all the other steps of shooting an arrow just sounds cleaner. And the sound effects when you hit a target.
Nice.
Let's see, what else? I prefer the smithing and enchanting in Skyrim, but that doesn't say much because I didn't do either of those things in Oblivion. But I do prefer Oblivion's alchemy. Everything other than that, I'd say go crazy, Bethesda. Also, character models. This is probably going to be my hottest take, but the Elder Scrolls 6 models better be more like Skyrim's than Oblivion's. All the elves in Skyrim look like they're trying to hide that they just ate something really sour. Argonians look either part chimpanzee or like they live in Whoville. And the orcs? I honestly thought my game was bugged when I first saw one, because I let out an audible gasp. Or maybe I'm just racist towards orcs. I don't think I am. The Khajiit and Man races, I'll give to you, I guess. But my hope would be the Elder Scrolls 6 character models look more like updated Skyrim models. But that's just me. Oh, environmental storytelling. That's like what my whole channel has been about. I probably just didn't look hard enough, but my hunch is that Skyrim did more in this category as well. But if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments examples of Oblivion's environmental storytelling, and maybe I'll make a video out of them. The only one that I really know about is the troll under the bridge. And if trolls actually can write, then that just supports my theory from a previous video that we should just leave trolls alone. But anyways, I would love some good environmental storytelling nuggets in Elder Scrolls 6 for me to stumble upon. Ambiance. It might be weird to give ambiance its own section, but I think a game's ambiance can go easily unnoticed and unappreciated. When a game has good ambiance, your brain gets little hits of dopamine when you're just wandering around and taking in the scenery. And every Bethesda game that I've played has done that for me one way or another, especially Skyrim. I don't know if it's just because I prefer the bliss of cooler climates, but it's gonna be hard for Elder Scrolls 6 to top it. But they're more than welcome to try. All I know is that Bethesda better keep Jeremy Soule employed. Graphics and stuff. I don't know if this is the right thing to call this segment, but the point is the games look too good these days. Every game has to have the best graphics money can buy, but the problem with that is that not everyone can afford the best graphics. Exhibit A. It's getting to the point that the only people that can play a new game optimally are people with NASA level computers, when in reality is that most people don't have that kind of machine or money. If I was a tinfoil hat wearing kind of guy, I would say that some game companies have some kind of hidden deal with graphics card manufacturers. Like, if you keep making your games with insane graphics, people will have to keep buying our insane graphics cards. I think one of the reasons people keep coming back to Skyrim is that even though it's a 14-year-old game, it can still look amazing even without the help of mods. And you don't need a PC the price of a used car to play it. I know some of you guys are probably going to say like, console players don't have that problem. Well, frig off, I don't want to hear it. But if Elder Scrolls 6 is made with Unreal Engine 5, which it probably will be, I hope something miraculous happens with Unreal Engine 5 that makes it less demanding. I don't know how game engines work. So ultimately, what is on my Elder Scrolls 6 wish list? For it to happen, and for it to be moderately playable. That's pretty much it. The key to happiness is low expectations. But what's really on my wish list is for there to be a remaster of Fallout 3. That way I can make my own Republic of Dave. There can be only one. You know what? No, what I wish for is for all games to be made by the Irish. Because Irish people have the realest connection with the working man. And they'll make affordable games again. Yeah, I know what I did. Thank you and take care.